Hey y'all, my name is Jamie, and welcome back to Asagao Academy, again, for probably the last time, unless more people want me to do, like, the other routes and stuff, which I'm totally fine with doing. I love all the routes. This one, I'm not sure I love it. This one's a bit, yeah, this one's the other hidden route, and I can see that right now. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. This route ruins my soul every time I play. It ruins me. But this will be the second time I played it from the beginning, because when you initially play Jacques' route, there's two ways to play it. Because like with most characters, you have the good ending, the bad ending, the worst ending, best. There's two endings to Jacques. So this will be my second time playing the first ending of Jacques. If that makes any sense, it should make sense. So here we go.
What?
I was very naive the very first time I played this, thinking, oh, it's just gonna be a cute little fun thing. If you haven't ever seen it, you're going along for the ride. What? I know that sounds weird. A little bit more than weird. That's bestiality, Hana. Yeah, but a lot of people do it. That doesn't make it right. That doesn't mean you should. In anime, that shit's illegal. Okay, no. Jacques is John's bird, the bird that sits on his shoulder. He's a robot in this. He has a bird named Jacques in real life. But the way that you get to Jacques' route is the same way you get to Hidden Block's route. And if I did a video about Hidden Block's route, you should check it out. It was a lot of fun. It's a lot more fun than this is gonna be. Okay. But the way that you get to the Hidden Block route and Jacques' route is you have to deny all of Normal Boots' advances to either be your friend or ask you to the Flower Festival and all that. You got to deny all that, and that'll get you to the two hidden routes. You can also get to Ian or Jacques by denying most of them. Because there's been some cases where I denied like half of the Normal Boots guys and got Ian. I think you only can get Jacques this way though. I think. I'm not entirely sure. But anyway. I felt a connection with him that I haven't felt with anyone else. I feel like he understands me.
This is so stupid.
I agree. He's a bird. A robot bird. He doesn't even have the feelings a bird would. Just, look, are you my friend or not?
What?
Of course I'm your friend. Then support me on this. My shifted uncomfortably. She seemed to want to continue arguing with me to find some way to pull me out of it. This is what I decide for myself. There's nothing else that will make me happy. No one would have me anyways. That's not true. That's not...
No!
And I won't have anyone else. Then, if that's the way you feel, it is. Well, go on.
What?
What?
Uh-huh.
Go on and get your man. Okay, we can skip past this. She hits her and she goes out the door. Where would I find him? Okay, we gotta find John, because John has Jacques. John was where he said he would be, in the theater. He was holding Jacques and dramatically singing an opera song in a tone I didn't think he could muster. A sad-looking first-year sat on the bench of a piano, reluctantly playing music. I waited until a pause where the piano notes slowed, signaling the end of the song.
John.
John? Ave Jacques, Hana. Oh, Hana! I guess it's like Ave Maria. He stopped and jerked to face me. A worse bird might have been sent careening towards the chalk-marked floor of the auditorium, but Jacques stayed firm. He's got a tiny little jacket. It's cute. John cleared his throat and looked at the floor, receding from the opera mood. How can I help you, Hana? I wasn't expecting you. He coughed awkwardly, and I almost did the same. Sorry to bother you, but can I talk to Jacques?
What?
Jacques? He looked at Jacques, then back at me.
I don't know.
I don't know about that. What are you going to do with him? I'd like to talk to him about something private. John shifted uncomfortably.
Well.
If there's anything you want to say to him, you can say it in front of me. Right, Jacques? Well, not anything. Jacques is a robot, so I'm going to try to do a robotic monotone voice.
Oh,
So, go on, Hana. This was even worse than I thought. John would probably think I was a freak, but in all the academy, only Jacques made me feel truly understood. He was my only chance for companionship. Even Mai, who is my best friend, even she didn't understand my feelings for Jacques. I barely understood them myself. But at least Jacques might understand.
Jacques.
Will you go to the flower festival with me? John's mouth dropped open. That is a good question.
what?
Well, I'll be. I will respond positively if John agrees to it. I held my breath, mentally begging John to let him come with me. Of all the people you would ask, you want my bird? Why? I've been very lonely while I was here, and even though everyone's friendly, I still feel like I don't really belong. I don't feel like I connect with any of you. And Jacques, I feel like John held up his hand. No more, Hana. I understand. He held his hand up to Jacques, who hopped onto John's outstretched finger. Jacques has given me comfort and love during many an unsure time. Sometimes you can trust animals in a way you can't trust people, you know? Isn't that right, Bree? She's laying down over here. Isn't that right? She's not paying attention to me. Robots, even more so. Oh, now you're paying attention to me. Your ears twitched. He held his hand out to me. You can have Jacques for the festival. John, thank you. He nodded and looked at me expectantly. The festival isn't until tomorrow, though, so... Oh, you're right.
See ya.
I'll bring him by your place tomorrow, then.
See you later.
Great. I'll see you then, Jacques. Goodbye, Hana. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not... Anyway, I smiled and headed out of the theater. John. He understood. And now I was going on a date with Jacques. I woke up late, yada yada yada. We know. We got a letter. I bounced inside our dorm, full of joyous anticipation at the prospect of seeing my winged love. This is where stuff gets weird. Is it weird yet for anybody? Bit weird for me. Anyway. Oh, and the whole one I was like, yada yada yada, the letter. It's not that the letter is unimportant, it's just you guys have seen it. If you've seen the Asagao stuff before, you've seen it. If not, check it out yourself, because it's a cool game, you should play it. It's free. Donate to the creators, obviously. If you can, because it's a free game and it's an amazing game, and donations are good. Anyway, oh yeah, right. Mai stood nearby watching me nervously. So excited?
Yay!
Yes, I'm so excited. But what are you going to do with a bird? It's not like he can eat or play games or anything. My bouncing faltered. But I'm sure there are things you can do with a robot bird for fun, right? He could probably spy on people for you. Make sure people don't take your things. I turned slowly to her. Right? Yeah. Right. Mai's little didn't sound good. Worry etched her face, but I smiled and tried to play it off. I'll be fine. This is... I mean, I know it's not normal, but it's what I want. I'll be okay. If you say so. I think this Hidden Block and Jacques are the only routes Mai goes to the festival, because she doesn't go, and the normal Boots route's a place she doesn't go. Especially if you take Jared, she doesn't go. I nodded happily. He should be here any minute, so I'm gonna go wait outside. Right, I guess I'll see you later. I left the room and shut the door behind me. Is it already too late for her? Oh, it already hurts. The flashbacks, the memories, oh, they already hurt. I stood outside, body humming. At every flicker of movement in the distance, my heart leaped. Flowers fell in the breeze and stirred the sense of spring. It didn't matter what anybody else thought. At some point, I made an unconscious decision, and I was following through. I would do whatever it took to be happy. And if that meant having Jacques, it meant having Jacques.
Hana.
Hana?
Hey.
Jacques! John! There you two are! Hana, you look amazing! Oh, Lord. Thanks! What do you think, Jacques? I held my arms out and did a little twirl, giggling. Jacques bobbed his head in acknowledgement. Those flowers are my favorite. Are they? I can see I am interrupting. John held a finger up to his shoulder and Jacques crawled onto it. John's chin wobbled. So, I guess I'll leave him with you for the time being. I nodded eagerly as John tenderly stroked Jacques' head. What the heck, game? You'll be okay, won't you? Better than when you have me. Oi, why? Even now you're so sassy and I'm full of emotion. I sassed to cover up my feels, John. Oh, buddy. Are you gonna miss me too? I'll miss you like takeout. Buddy. I cleared my throat impatiently, holding out my hand. Hana's a bitch in this room. Okay. Have fun, buddy. Jacques hopped from John's finger to my own. His tiny claws scraped me, supporting so much weight on such fragile tendrils. He shifted until he got his balance and scratched a wing. It felt to me like a baby resting its head against your shoulder. I wanted to protect him. I wanted to love him. I wanted to make sure he was safe. I never wanted to let go. Never let go, Jacques. Yeah, references and things. Packages. Jacques crawled up my arm with a combination of tenacity and skill, and once perched on my shoulder, I felt his head move towards John. I will miss you. Please have a fun night. But buddy, I cleared my throat again. John wiped his face with the back of his hand and straightened his shirt. Well then, I'll just be going.
See you later.
Bye, John. I'll see you later tonight. I waved eagerly as John stumbled off into the darkness. Finally, I was well and truly alone with Jacques. So, Jacques, what do you want to do? Jacques scratched under his wing again, then shuffled his feet. Lead the way. Okay. I headed towards the festival. There were stalls at which to play games and eat food, but Mai was right in that I had no idea what appeal those would carry for Jacques. Instead, I crossed towards the bonfire, set in a field a ways over from the festival. People, especially older folk, were gathered around it, watching the flames dance. In the distance, I could see Miss Shizuka laughing with an older fellow. His arm was slung around her waist, her face a luminescent shade of red. That won't work out. I glanced at Jacques in surprise. No? Why not? That human male has no interest in her as a person. It is unfortunate. I turned back to the man with Miss Shizuka. He was grinning lopsidedly, running his hand up and down her waist. No? Go closer, if you want to hear. I crept closer to them under the guise of finding a suitably dry log to sit on. Bree just put her butt on my foot. She's laying on my foot. Aw. All the logs were equally dry, so maybe it wasn't convincing, but Miss Shizuka didn't notice either way. Slowly, their conversation became audible. Miss Shizuka was giggling intensely. She seemed to be more nervous than happy. Oh, do you want to go get some ice cream? I really love ice cream. That's a lot of work. Is it? Yeah, but we can head back over to my place. I have this special kind that'll knock your socks off. Haven't even bothered sharing it with anyone yet. The man grinned at her, his hand straying lower, but Miss Shizuka didn't seem to notice. Instead, her eyes glittered. It occurred to me that perhaps she thought this invitation meant he reciprocated her feelings. Humans are predictable. I frowned and turned away. I didn't want to watch any more of that. Miss Shizuka keeps picking the same kind of men, so it isn't surprising that this happens. Jacques, why are people so horrible? Jacques cocked his head to the side as if contemplating the question. That's a matter of perspective.
Really?
Is it? The people I met in my life, almost all of them before coming to Asagao Academy were absolute jerks. When I first arrived here, I thought I found people who were different, people who truly cared about one another and about me. But as time went on, despite the affection I received from everyone, I found myself feeling distant. I thought I cared about them. I knew I cared about them, but I couldn't feel it. I reciprocated their affections the way I would have had I been feeling it, but I remained for the most part unstirred. In some instances, my body reacted, but my emotions didn't. I didn't understand why it was happening. But Jacques, that's why I like you. What is? He moved from side to side on my shoulder. I wasn't sure what that meant, but I assumed he was thinking. Why did you choose to take me to the festival? Why? Well, do you remember my first real day of school? Excuse me. Jacques' eyes flashed. Yes, you said you were afraid of birds. I grinned sheepishly. I am afraid of birds. When I first saw you, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. A pang of terror. I'd been living in fear for a full year, completely afraid of all the people around me and what they could do to me. I was still afraid of what Asagao would be like and whether things would go poorly. I was this tight ball of anxiety, but then I saw you and felt a pang of real terror. I smiled and Jacques' eyes flashed again. I am not following. Do you remember after that, I found out you were a robot, and I instantly felt safe again. Just like that, all my fears were wiped away. Then I got to watch you and John interacting like an old married couple, full of love and understanding for one another. I think it was then that it happened. I thought, I want that too. So you literally went to take me from John?
No.
Not take you, that sounds so horrible. Jacques shook his wings. I can trust you more than I can people. I feel safe with you. Hana, I think you were very strange. I nodded. I think so too. You don't think I'm weird for liking you, do you? That is a dangerous question, Hana. Dangerous? How so? Neither answer would be good for you. Aw, Jacques, are you looking out for my well-being? Jacques bobbed his head from side to side. It is a matter of perspective. That's what I like about you. So straightforward, so reliable. Again, a matter of perspective. Well, from my perspective, you're truly wonderful, and I would feel privileged to be able to spend more of my time with you. Indeed? I nodded happily. It would indeed be a privilege, as John would have to grant you the ability. The happiness I felt up until now slid off me like water. I guess he would, wouldn't he? Anna, John is the most important person to me. You understand that, right? Yes, I understand that. Why was he telling me this now? Didn't he want us to have a fun time? You shouldn't bring up other people when you're on a date. It's not polite. Anna, I am feeling uncomfortable.
What?
What? No, sorry. I'm sorry. I lost my temper. Please don't feel uncomfortable. Look, there's such pretty flowers over there. We should go look at them. Perhaps another time. Would you please take me to John? My heart stopped in my chest. Had I blown it with Jacques? Was even Jacques, a literal robot program for companionship, rejecting me? No. That didn't make sense. Jacques wasn't a robot. No, wait, he was a robot. A thought came over my mind, a headache throbbing against my skull. I pressed a hand to my temple, wincing in pain. Hana, are you okay? I'm fine. Sorry. Sorry, that came out of nowhere. Maybe it would be better to take you back now, you're right. I headed back to campus towards Bluebell House. Jacques was worried about me. That thought was enough to clear my mind with each step I took. As we got inside, something occurred to me. Jacques, couldn't you fly to John yourself? He shook his head. I might be a bird, but the metal in my wings prevents flight. They are for aesthetics only. He stretched a wing out, showing it off as one might flex an arm. I giggled as we reached John's door, then stretched an arm out to knock on it. It's that music. This music track is called Betrayed, and it's always what plays when things go bad. My hand froze. A sudden thought gripped me. If Jacques couldn't fly, didn't that mean that if I were to take him, wouldn't I be able to keep him? A small trembling spread across my body, first slowly and then faster. The trembling grew until I was shuddering in front of the door. I should knock on the door. I should knock. Anna? Hey, do you think... The door opened in front of me, and I stood face to face with John. Oh, gosh! Jacques, there you are. I was just about to come look for you. Take me. I am yours. John held his finger up to my shoulder and took Jacques from me without my permission. 'Cause it's not your freaking bird, Hana! I clamped my mouth tightly shut. I'm so glad you're back okay. Hana, I have to admit, I was worried. I'm glad to see that I can trust you. A smile plastered itself over my face. Of course, I treat Jacques as if he were my own, 'cause I want to take him from you, 'cause I'm... Did you have fun? It was fun, but I still would have preferred spending the time with you. I shifted as the sentence hit me. It was as though it were a physical blow, and I averted my gaze from the two. If I might ask, how is it that Jacques can have preferred feelings for someone if he's a robot? Jacques is highly advanced. He's programmed with a free will mechanic that allows him to control his own decisions and thinking. That's important. That's very important. Remember that that's important. Along with that is his affection for other people. It grows and diminishes with people's treatment of them, and I guess some other variables I don't know about. He stimulates a personality well, doesn't he? I nodded uncomfortably. So you've never messed with a mechanic before?
No.
Oh, no, never. I'm not sure I even can. I've never looked into it. Why would I want to keep Jacques from living how he wants to? He might be a robot, he might be a bird, but he's my best friend. He was there for me. He loved me unconditionally when nobody else would. But you understand what I'm getting at, don't you? You were saying the same things when you asked him to the festival. Yeah, I get it. Of course, I hadn't thought of the mechanic like that. I guess there are ethics even with robots. Especially with robots. I could go into the laws of robotics and what I feel like they're owed based off them, but I need to get to the radio station right about now. Peeves and I have a show to do. Right, sorry. I guess I'm in your way then. A little bit. I stepped out of the doorway and gestured to the hall. After you two. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for showing Jacques a good time, Hana. Anyways, I'm sure I'll see you in class or something tomorrow.
See you later.
Yeah, I hope to see you, or both of you, again tomorrow.
See you later.
Right. Have a good night. John waved to me and headed off down the hallway. Jacques didn't even bother looking back. Yeah, he doesn't. Hana, stop. But it was okay. This was okay. I could be satisfied spending time with him like this. After all, there was no hope of changing my situation. None at all. I just had to bide my time and enjoy each moment as it came. Ugh. I put a hand on my head, feeling dizzy again. At some point, I had returned to my dorm and crawled into bed. I hadn't even changed out of my yukata. Something felt weird about this whole thing. It felt a little off. But it was okay. I'd see Jacques again tomorrow. As long as I held onto that thought, nothing mattered. Nothing really mattered. Hana, sweetie, I think you got some issues there. Might need addressing. Jacques, are out. Let's do it. Okay. I sat with John and Jacques in the library, listening to them bicker. I told you, we only have to look up 5 different attack combos. I think you should do 40. But I don't need to. Trust me, your skills could use some work.
Huh.
I giggled and John sighed in exasperation. Hana, help me with this guy. There's no way I'm going to survive trying to take care of him for the rest of my life. I'll take care of him for you. How about that? Does that sound good, Jacques? I winked at him and his eyes glowed. No. Ah, what a card.
Yeah.
Yeah. John frowned at me and set aside his
Hana.
book. Hana. I looked at him expectantly and he cleared his throat. It has come to my attention that you might have misunderstood something about Jacques. You seem to think he's a real person who has feelings.
No.
But Jacques doesn't, not the way you and I do. He's a robot after all. Well, I know that. Why are you telling me something like this? Don't be silly. I'm not judging you. I'm not saying you're doing anything or feeling any certain way. But, even friendship works differently for Jacques. He's running off a program, whether you like it or not. Granted, he's got free will. That's why he can be as sassy as he is. And I would never in my life violate his free will. That's what I like about him. Stop. You're making me blush. But he can't feel like you and I, and nothing will make him feel that way. I had an experience with him in the past, you know? That's why I'm warning you. I don't want you to have to fall into the same kind of thing that I did. It's not worth it. Programs are programs. As much as Jacques is my friend, I had to come to terms with that. So should you. I smiled, my chin trembling. Of course I know that. Don't worry, John. I'm not an idiot. And I'm certainly not going to have real feelings for a computer program. What kind of person would do that? He shrugged. I'm sure you wouldn't be the first, but don't worry. I know you're smarter than that. I just wanted you to know, since you're so empathetic and everything. I cocked my head to the side, confused. Well, thanks for the warning. It means a lot, I guess. No problem, Hana. Now then, back to studying, eh, Jacques? Spare me.
Yeah.
That's the spirit. John buried his head in his book. I pretended to read my own, all while watching Jacques out of the corner of my eye. A computer program. Really? Did John really want me to believe that? Did he even believe it himself? Yeah, because you should believe that. Anyone who met Jacques could realize he was something special. He wasn't just a robot. There was no way. Not after the Flower Festival. I wanted to argue with John, but there was no way I could do that while appearing sane. I didn't know enough about the laws of robotics to even start debating philosophy and ethics on the matter. Instead, I nodded to whatever John said, all the while imagining a possible future. Myself and Jacques, the leaders of a new world order. Free will, freedom of expression, and true rights for robots. Excuse me. Robots who are human, just like John and me were. Oh dear. Even if I was the only one who saw it, it must be real, right? It must be. It was late one evening in our dorm room. I was laying on my bed staring at the ceiling. Even as I tried to put it out of my mind, I couldn't. Jacques didn't love me. He couldn't love me, no matter what I did. I wanted to forget about my feelings for him, but the more I tried to push them out of my mind, the more they followed me. Whether I was in class, or eating, or in the shower, or going to sleep, everywhere I looked was Jacques. It didn't help that I was starting to feel less and less sure of myself. Not only was he a bird, but he was a robot. A robot with personality and some form of feeling, but a robot nonetheless. Was I crazy for feeling this way? Was there something wrong with me? Part of me thought so, but the rest of me felt there was more to the situation than met the eye. There was something about Jacques that seemed utterly human. The only question was, how would I get to it? Anna!
What?
What? The shock sent me off my bed and I landed headfirst on the floor. Ow. I sat on the ground, nursing my now throbbing head and glared at Mai. To my surprise, she didn't look apologetic at all. She looked downright furious. What was that for? I don't know what's wrong with you, but you really need to shape up. What are you talking about?
What the hell?
Did you forget that our joint essay was due earlier today and that you were the one who was going to turn it in to Miss Shizuka? A sinking feeling hit my stomach, but I avoided her eyes. That's not due until tomorrow. Mai grabbed the calendar sitting on my desk and shoved it into my face.
No!
It was due today, and you said you would turn it in. I bristled but tried to nonchalantly shrug it off. I'll just go talk to her and explain what happened. It should be fine. Why didn't you turn it in if you knew I didn't do it?
What the hell?
I had a game. You know this. She took a long, deep breath and looked at me again. Tell me what's been up with you. There was a period of silence. I don't know what you're talking about.
Really?
You think I haven't noticed? You haven't been doing any homework or studying anymore. Your grades are falling drastically. You're barely eating at lunch, and I haven't seen you even touch that game in a week. You know, the game that you're supposed to be playing in the tournament to get you in the Normal Boots Club, you know, like what you're supposed to be doing. Don't you want to join the Normal Boots Club? Aren't they relying on you for the tournament? More importantly, aren't you going to basically flunk out of here if you don't shape up? I swallowed and grabbed my backpack. Surely my grades weren't that bad. I'm still a smart girl, even if I wasn't putting as much effort into my schoolwork. 32. The first paper I grabbed had a 32 on it. I stared at it, completely dumbfounded. I had never gotten below a 70 in my life, not since the year before. How had I not noticed? Mai crossed her arms as she saw the look on my face. Okay, maybe my grades have been falling a bit, but it's nothing I can't make up. And yeah, maybe I could use a bit more practice. What are you, my mother? Don't get on my case like this. I can look after myself. Can you really? Why wouldn't you just tell me what's wrong? I know it's something. You're not usually like this. Choices! Yay! But you'll see why I say it like that soon enough. I'm gonna confess to Mai. I took a deep breath, ready to reveal my feelings for Jacques and my deepening sense of hopelessness. But when I tried to say something, I've been dealing with some stuff from home, so the choices that you make, they don't matter. You can't make the choices. The game does it for you. Okay? Okay. A lie came out instead. Mai frowned. Okay. You know you can always talk to me if you need to, Hana. I'm always here for you. I nodded, biting my lip. Of course you are. Or, of course you are. It was only a few days later when it happened. Hana, please, I really need your help. There's been an emergency with the play, and I need to go right to the theater to sort it out. Apparently someone set something on fire, or there's someone hiding in closets waiting to stab people with a plastic sword. I'm not really sure. But I left Jacques to upgrade after lunch, and I can't go get him. He needs to be unplugged immediately after he upgrades, or else he could get some really weird malfunctions. Can I please, please, please trust you to go get Jacques for me? My eyes widened. Of course, John, but why me? You're the only one Jacques trusts besides me. I'm not sure how you did it, but you did. Warmth swelled in my heart, and I felt myself glowing with pride.
Yeah!
Of course, you can count on me. Good, thank you. If he's not done when you get there, just wait a bit. There is a 10-minute window after it finishes, so you should have enough time. Oh, and if you see any alerts pop up on the program, just hit OK. He dug around in his pocket and handed me a silver key, rather than the golden ones the girls had.
Bye.
Bring him to the theater right after you grab him, okay? I'll see you there. And he dashed out of the room, sheer panic across his face. Oh, John. As I crossed to the door, I noticed Shane staring at me. John never trusts people with Jacques. With that said, he turned away. Hi, Shane. Oh, right, I should hurry. I didn't want anything to go wrong with Jacques. Now, did I? Anything with Jacques? No. Did I? There we go. 312, 313, 314. Here it is. John's room. With a pounding heart, I fit the key into the lock and turned the knob. The door unlocked with a rather heavy click, and I stepped into the room. Oh, how I wish PBG were here. The room was just as dirty as I remembered it, clothing littering the floor with a stagnant feel. And not just because I like PBG, no, because PBG's John's roommate, and PBG could have been there. There was a difference this time, however. A light glowed in one corner of the room. Jacques stood in a little metal contraption, an odd humming sound filling the air. A wire was plugged somewhere around his bottom, and his eyes were flashing colors. Multiple different colors. I had no idea they weren't inherently red. I crept over to the machine, following its wires with my eyes. They plugged right into John's computer, so I wiggled his mouse around a bit until the screen woke up. Upgrade, 89%. Good, so it wasn't done yet. That means Jacques was safe, and I wasn't going to have to bring an utterly destroyed Jacques to a broken-hearted John. I watched the program as data rolled across the screen, numbers and symbols that didn't make any words that I could understand. Where did Jacques come from, anyways? I glanced over at him, and my heart skipped a beat. They said there was nothing like looking at the person you loved when they were sleeping. The free face of worry, or their face free of worry, completely vulnerable and innocent. I didn't understand what people meant by that until now. Jacques looked so calm, so cool. Calm, cool, and collected. I swallowed. He wasn't on, so he wouldn't remember anything that happened, right? I reached out a trembling hand, and with a feather-light touch, ran my finger down his face and over his beak. Ah! The computer pinged. Oh, that was their computer, okay. And I jumped back, heart pounding, but Jacques was still asleep, and nobody had entered the room. Heart practically in my mouth, I read the alert on the screen. Alert! New data has been added to the human registry. Hana Mizuno. Me? It was talking about me? I clicked the next button. Hana Mizuno. Gender, female. Hair, pink. Eyes, green. Personality, kind, trustworthy, sweet. Emotional attachment, plus 20-30. No, adjusting emotional attachment will override free will. Adjusting emotional attachment will override free will. The thing John didn't want to override. The thing John was like, I'm not going to violate because it violates who he is as a bird. We got that? Okay. The emotional attachment set had arrows next to it. Did that mean I could adjust it? Just because you can doesn't mean you should. I glanced at Jacques and back at the screen. Did that mean if I raised it, Jacques would have feelings for me? Could he even fall in love with me? No, I couldn't mess with that. That would be wrong. John trusted me. But how would anyone know if I altered it? Just a little bit. No one would be the wiser. I would be a lot happier, and I could give Jacques the love and attention he deserved. The kind of love even John couldn't give him. Okay, yeah. You see our only choice is leave it be? I shook my head. There was no way I could do that. That would be taking away Jacques' free will. That would be a crime. That would be completely awful of me. I put my hand on the mouse. That would be a terrible, terrible thing to do to someone. I slid it over there to the arrow. Oh, her face. Oh, her face. Her face. Please look at her face. Oh god, I hate it. I hate it. I'm gonna put a picture up of it blown up so you guys can see it. Yeah, tell me that's not terrifying. The first time I saw that, I had to stop playing. I was like, oh, why? I wouldn't do that to a real person, so why would I do it to Jacques? Because she has no pupils. Her eyes are, she's lost it. I clicked the button. The number started rising. That would make me a bad person. I clicked again, and 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 again, like infinite times. I slammed the enter button. I wouldn't do such a thing. I'm a nice person. I'm a good person. The box switched to a new form. Rather than lines and lines of script, there were simple snapshots of people's faces. PVG, Shane, Jimmy, John, and me. Adjustments registered. I smiled as the update continued, finishing rapidly now that his final change was implemented. I glanced over the page, reading the notes as the bar neared 99%. Then I froze. John Jafari. Gender, male. Hair, black. Eyes, brown. Personality, jolly, creative. Caretaker. Emotional attachment, +0. That couldn't be right. There was no way that was right. I looked at my own profile. Emotional attachment, +100. Didn't that mean... I hovered over the stat in the program and a dialog box popped up. No, emotional attachments collective max equals 100. Oh wait, what did that line say? So, if it was 100 for me, it couldn't give anything to John? Or anyone else for that matter? What did
Upgrade complete.
A blinding light filled the room and I covered my eyes. When I lowered them, Jacques' eyes were lit once again. Okay, that's her face that she was making a while ago.
Jacques.
Jacques. Hello, Hana.
Uh,
Let me get you unplugged. Thank you, Hana. That is very kind of you. So far, he didn't seem very different. I reached underneath him and, blushing furiously, started staring defiantly at the wall in front of me and plugged the wires from underneath him. Upon doing so, Jacques fluttered his wings and climbed up on my sleeve to perch on my shoulder. Excuse me. Thank you so much, Hana. And to my utter shock, he nuzzled himself against my ear. You are my favorite human.
Jacques.
Thank you, Jacques. I need to get you to John, though. You're late for theater practice. It's worth being late if I get to spend time with you. Oh my gosh. Was I dreaming? There was no way something like this was real. A small part of me seemed to disagree with the thought. It was struggling as if there was something it wanted to tell me, as if there was something I wasn't paying attention to anymore. But I smiled. Jacques loved me now. This was the only thing I cared about. I walked into the theater, Jacques on my shoulder and heaven in my heart. John turned to face me as soon as I walked in, and his worried face immediately broke into a giant smile.
Hey!
Jacques! Hana! He ran to meet me as I walked down the steps, and we met halfway. I glanced past him. There were a few scorch marks dotting the stage, but otherwise all seemed well. Whatever crisis occurred, John was able to stop it in time. Thank you so much for doing this for me, Hana. I was worried sick since it was taking so long. Taking so long? I glanced at a clock on the wall. I've been gone for 30 minutes. It didn't take that long just to unplug him. How strange. She doesn't remember what she did. Regardless, I shrugged it off and smiled. It was nothing. John beamed and held out his hand. I looked at it blankly, not registering what he was trying to do. Come on, buddy. Hop on. Jacques stared at the hand in front of him, then turned to look questioningly at me. John frowned. He can get kind of skittish sometimes after an upgrade. All the new functions, it must be like getting a new pair of glasses or something. Everything looks a bit different. He said this, but he looked concerned. I held my hand up to Jacques, and he stepped onto the edge of my finger. Go ahead, Jacques. It's okay. Jacques cocked his head at me, then stepped into John's hand. Hello. There we are. No problem here. Relief eased John's face. It is good to see you again. Yeah, it's good to see you too. We must practice for the show. John looked utterly bewildered. Yeah, we should. You're right. He frowned again, rubbing his chin thoughtfully. They didn't put an obedience chip in you, did they? You're not usually like this. I am a happy birdie now. Well, that's good, but... He glanced at me and I shrugged as nonchalantly as I could. I didn't mess with the settings. I didn't just screw up free will and stuff like that. Was there anything weird that happened during the upgrade? It should have just been a routine maintenance update. I screwed at my face, trying hard to remember what had happened in John's room. I can't remember. For some reason, I couldn't quite remember. Yeah, I called it. I walked into the room and Jacques was there, and I touched him. And then, was there... Yeah, there was an alert or something on the computer. How could I not remember? It literally just happened. Maybe Mai was right and I was losing it. You've already lost it, sweetie. I think there was a pop-up or something, but I just said okay like you told me. Then it should be fine. Maybe if you give it a few days it'll get better? Yeah. I'll check over the update notes on the website just in case. They usually provide a summary of what they mess with. I nodded, wringing my hands behind my back. Talking about Jacques like he was a piece of software really bothered me. Is it okay if he hears you talking about that?
What?
What? Yeah, of course. He knows he's a robot after all. Jacques' eyes flashed, but he said nothing. Anyways, we really do need to get back to work. Thanks for doing this, Hana. It's a private rehearsal today, though, so I'll see you around tomorrow? I'll see you around tomorrow. Oh. My heart sank, and for some reason tears stung my eyes, but I held them back. Yeah, no problem. I turned around and was about to leave when I want to go with Hana. I froze in my tracks. Silence rang through the theater. What? I turned around. John was staring at Jacques as if he had never seen him before.
What?
What are you talking about? You're my little guy. I want to spend time with Hana. But we're best buddies. Jacques' eyes flashed, but he said nothing. I stared from John to Jacques, horror mixing with elation within me, both fighting for expression. It was all I could do to not look pleased at this turn of events. Something told me John wouldn't take kindly to that. No, Jacques. John is your own, caretaker. John looks after you. Yeah, buddy. I want to be taken care of by Hana now.
Jacques.
Jacques. This is really, really weird. I'm going to have to look at that at the upgrade notes. I nodded, an eerie feeling striking me. Go ahead. That sounds like a smart idea. Don't notice the blank face or anything that looks like death. John looked at me funny but nodded. You be good with John, Jacques. I've got to do my homework for once.
See ya.
Right. I'll be seeing you, Hana. Hana. Goodbye. I waved as I left the theater and stepped out into the damp, misty air. The door closed behind me and I took a deep breath. Then I broke into a dead sprint. I ran into John the next day in the hallway. Jacques perched on his shoulder. What did I need to do? What did she do?
Hey.
Did you manage to take a look at the notes? He jumped and looked at me. Oh, Hana. He rubbed his beard. His hair was sticking out everywhere. He hadn't properly shaved. It almost looked like he hadn't changed clothes since yesterday. Yeah, I looked over the notes. Everything seemed normal. I couldn't find anything that could have caused a change. Hana, I missed you.
Jacques.
Aw, Jacques, you're so sweet. John was staring at Jacques. Yeah, real sweet.
Oh,
Hana, if you'll excuse me. John disappeared down the hall looking as though he'd seen a ghost. Is he okay? He looked really out of it. I think Bree actually wants to go out. Be right back. I guess if she wants to get back in, she'll kick open the door. But anyway. Is he okay? He looked really out of it. I'm sure he's fine. I hummed happily as we walked into the classroom. I think today will be a great day. Yeah, I'm sure it will. I plopped myself down next to John and immediately began telling Jacques about my day. So Miss Shizuka started ranting about another ex of hers. Ha, ha, ha.
Right?
Right? It was kind of sad, honestly. Hana, do you mind paying attention to everybody?
Hey, Hana.
Yeah, join us in the conversation. You and Jacques can talk privately some other time. I shot a glare at them but turned to face the group. They smiled and started talking about some dumb tournament strategies. I leaned into John's shoulder acting as if I was unaware of what I was doing. He stiffened beside me but didn't move away. I'm not sure he had the room to. In any case, Jacques noticed and crept from John's shoulder to my own. Jacques! I smiled. Perhaps you'd rather talk with me than listen to this prattle? That's exactly what I had in mind. Then if you don't mind, John? John stared at me in shocked silence. Can I take him, please? I mean, please, John? I guess. If you really want to go.
Yay!
Yay! See you later. Oh, that's so sad. Jacques and I spent the lunch hour soaking in the sun together and enjoying each other's company. Nobody had ever made me feel so special, so whole. I didn't ever want to give this feeling up. There was a knock on our door that night. When I opened it, I found John on the other end. Jacques wouldn't go to sleep unless I let him come tell you goodnight.
Jacques.
Oh, Jacques, that's so sweet. I couldn't rest until I knew you were safe, Hana. Well, good night, Jacques. I gave him a little pat on the head. He shoved his head under his wing, clearly embarrassed. What the heck is that? What is going on? It's bugging me. It's sticking out. Anyway. Yeah. John stared at Jacques.
What?
I've never seen him do that before. Good night, Hana. I wish you the best recharge possible. I just noticed my fan is still on. It's gonna suck if I forget to, like, restart the recording and I play through the rest of it and it hadn't recorded. Hopefully yeah, it's recording now, but I had that fan on the whole time. Whoops. Trying not to interfere with the sound and all that, but anyway. I wish I could be with you tonight. I looked at John and he looked at me. Well, that's rough, buddy. You're coming back with me tonight. You're cruel. Haha, jokester, like always. I wasn't joking. Anyways, I'll see you later, Hana.
Bye.
Right, night. I closed the door, absolutely glowing. Jacques was so sweet. After class that day, John approached me with shaking hands.
Hana.
Hana. He sounded like he was going to cry. What was wrong? He cleared his throat and began again. Hana, it's come to my attention that I may not be the best person for Jacques right now. It seems like he'd rather, for whatever reason, he would rather have you taking care of him. He choked back a sob. So, he held his hand up to his shoulder and Jacques hopped onto it. Because I love him, I want to do what makes him happy. Hana!
John.
Oh, John! I took Jacques and placed him on my own shoulder. John looked away for a moment.
Yay!
This is wonderful news! Oh, you'll have to come to my room still to charge him. I can't move the docking station because I've had it specially designed with the Academy's electrical systems in mind. There's no other place on this campus that has enough power to charge it. To charge Jacques, so that's that. I'll still get to see him every once in a while. I'll bring him around to see you, sure. Not. Woo, Hana! Thank you so much, John. But right now, Jacques and I have some things to do, don't we, Jacques? You read my mind.
See you later.
See you, John. John watched us go. I took one last glance at him before I turned the corner. He had crumpled. He was staring at the floor, expressionless. He looked like a broken man. I giggled. Served him right. Oh, Hana,
No.
why? Oh, crap. Hana, I forgot that today we were going to practice in uniform instead of just our gym clothes, and I left them in the dorm room. I don't want to be late for practice. Do you think you can go grab them for me? Why should I do that? I balked. It would really help me out? I don't know, you Jack. Not now that I have Jacques. Hana, you've been really strange ever since you went on that flower festival date. I clapped my hand in front of her face, shocking her into silence. I don't want to hear it. Don't bother me with your problems, okay? I've got to go. But...
This is so stupid.
Fine. Hello, Brie. She shoved past me, then broke into a sprint toward our dorms. Now then, where did you want to go this time, Jacques? I glanced at my watch and giggled. Definitely by this time class has started. I bet they're all wondering where I've gone, Miss Shizuka especially. But you can't work hard every day. Life is for living, right, Jacques? Of course, Hana. You couldn't be more right. Jacques, what would I ever do without you? I don't even want to imagine the possibility. I giggled. So, do you want to see a movie? Hana, I really think you should consider giving Jacques back to John.
No!
Who the hell do you think you are?
What?
What? You think some super idealistic foreign exchange student can just waltz in here and tell me how to live my life? You don't know anything about me, or about Jacques, or even about John.
No!
Why are you acting like you know best? I think you're reacting a little. If anything, I'm not reacting enough. Don't show your face to me ever again, or I'll make sure you regret it. I looked out the window and gasped. Oh no, the cherry blossom petals have all fallen off the trees already. How is that possible? It's only been a few days. I glanced at the calendar on my desk and balked. Or weeks. I haven't been to class in forever. Jacques, we weren't able to see the cherry blossom petals together. Now they're gone. There's always next year, Hana. I won't leave your side. Jacques sat charging in John's room, and John watched him pitifully. Do you miss him? Eh? He looked at me in shock, then nodded. I do. Jacques is my best friend. He's seen me through some terrible times, and that really sucks. It'd probably be nice to have him back, wouldn't it? That would mean more to me than anything else on this earth. Jacques finished charging and his eyes flashed. Hana! Sucks to be you, John. Wow. Jacques hopped on my shoulder and we walked out of the room. Oh, she is a horrible person. Time started going faster and faster. With each passing hour, I felt less and less like I belonged to Hana Mizuno, and more like I belonged to Jacques. Together we were one. Oh boy. Together we could defeat anything. And anyone who stood in our way. I was up late one night talking to Jacques and ignoring Mai, who lay on her bed with her headphones on, when there was a knock at the door. Jacques cocked his head at me and I sighed. I guess I'll have to answer it. I shot a dirty look at the back of Mai's head, then answered the door. To my surprise, Miss Shizuka stood in the doorway. Can I help you? She looked at me in utter shock. Miss Mizuno, is there a reason you haven't been coming to class? I haven't been feeling well. Bree, hey, come here. Come here. No need for barking. Come here. You can come say hi to people? Okay. Really? Because I checked with Mr. McPasta and he hasn't heard anything from you either. She gazed at me with worry in her eyes and I stared back. May I come in? I mean, I guess so. I stepped to the side unwillingly. She thanked me and crossed to my bed, then patted the blanket beside her. Come sit down. Hey! Enough of that! Come here, come here, come here. Brie. Come here. No. Be right back. What do you see? What's bothering you? I don't know what you're barking at. Yes, stretch out of the camera. Bree says hi, everybody. I don't know what you're barking at. I frowned, but did as I was told. It was strange sitting there with Miss Shizuka. I hadn't had much contact with adult women since my mother died. It wasn't something I usually thought about. Bree, what is it? I'm gonna have to let her out of here. She keeps doing this. But sitting next to her, the warmth of her body beside me reminded me of my mother. It was a comfortable feeling, a loving feeling. I held back tears as Shizuka put her arm around me. Hana, I don't know what's wrong, but I would like to help you. If something has upset you or someone has been hurting you, you can tell me. I'll do everything in my power to protect you, and I won't tell a soul. She rubbed my shoulders as I stared down at my feet, carefully avoiding Jacques' perch. Has anyone been doing anything to hurt you? Has anyone been threatening you? I shook my head. Then, are you feeling okay? I started to nod, then shrugged my non-Jacques shoulder. She continued to rub my back, apparently waiting for me to say something. I feel off-kilter. How do you mean? There are entire chunks of my memory that have blacked out. I can't remember those things anymore. And I just don't care about anything around me. I couldn't care less. These days go by and I lose track of them. It's endless. Everything is endless. Bree, you trying to get out? No? I'm not sure what Bree's doing, but she's back in here now. I let her out. She's back in here. Anyway. The days go by. Yeah, right. Lose track. Everything's endless. I don't even see the lines between day and night anymore. It's all just one big endless tunnel. Nothing matters except... I stopped. Could I really tell her about Jacques? Let's say tell her. No. Why I'm not surprised. No matter how much I wanted to confide in Shizuka, I couldn't. I'm in love with a bird? I'm in love with a robot? These were sentences I could never say, no matter how obvious it became to those around me. These were sentences I was ashamed to admit were true. I was scum. I barely deserved to live in the same world as Jacques. There was no way anyone would be able to understand. But as long as Jacques was still with me, still by my side, I didn't have to worry about it. It didn't matter how I felt or what was going on with me. Jacques mattered, that was all. Hana, it's clear you're struggling. Would you like to come talk to the school psychiatrist? I shrugged. Shizuka stared at the floor, then sighed. There was something else I came here to say. According to school policy, if you do not raise your grades, you will flunk out of Asagao Academy. You worked so hard to come to this academy. Surely you must have had a reason. Some dream you wanted to reach? My reason? To avoid the pits of hell. Did that count as a reason? To escape the people who were making my life a misery. Something flustered in the back of my mind. Fluttered. There was something else, wasn't there? Some kind of hope I had. It wasn't just to be safe here, was it? If I could just... try to reach it emotionally. I tried to reach out for it. There was some sort of light feeling. Something like hope. But as soon as I realized that, it melted out of my grasp. Oh, sorry, Shizuka. It was too late in any case. I shook my head. Shizuka sighed and stood. I can't make you care, Hana. Only you can do that. Now that she was standing, the cold fluttered to my side and I shivered. I'm sorry. No, don't be. She smiled. I still believe in you, Hana. Please come to me if you ever need anything. I love how she still has the chalk, even now. And she showed herself out. I collapsed into my bed, shoving my head into the pillow. For the first time in a long while, I felt something other than a manic excitement. Sadness. I felt sad. That meant there was something wrong, right? Tiny pinprick started over my back, then something sharp hit my head. Jacques. Don't worry, Hana. I care about you. Jacques. My heart started beating faster and I smiled. That's right. As long as I had Jacques, I didn't need to worry. Not about anything. I sat with Jacques on my knee, staring deeply into his eyes. There was no way. There was no way that I could believe that Jacques didn't have a soul. Not after all this time. Jacques was alive. He was human. He was beautiful. And he loved me. I stuck out a finger and rubbed the side of his head. He nuzzled into me and my heart melted. Jacques cared about me. I was sure that in the end, that even if something were to happen to change his programming, yep. He would still love me, no matter what. What was I thinking about? Was there something... Hana. I'm sorry, Jacques. I wasn't paying attention to you. I love you, Hana. Tears filled my eyes and I nodded. I will love you forever, Hana.
Jacques.
I know, Jacques. I know you will. I woke up to an incessant pounding on the door. And in my head. Oh, God. I glanced at my clock. 2:12 in the afternoon? What the hell was anyone doing in the dorms at this hour? Hana, open the door.
What?
John? My heart jumped. I looked at Jacques, who sat perched next to me on a special silk pillow. So you are in there. Let me in, immediately. I sat up but made no move to open the door. What's wrong? You sound so angry. I sound angry, do I? Loud laughter seeped from under the cracks. I sound angry, do I? Good. A feeling of horror spread through my stomach without me fully comprehending the source. If you don't open this door, we'll beat the thing down. I want Jacques back. Now.
No!
No! No, you'll never take him! He's happy here with me, don't you understand? You've reprogrammed him. John roared through the door and there was a heavy thud. He wasn't actually going to break the door down, was he? I grabbed Jacques and paced through my room wildly. I couldn't throw him under the bed. I couldn't hide, not in the closet or behind the door or under my desk. What could I do? Where could I go? My eyes fell on the window and I flung it open. Hana! Grab her! I was kneeling out the window. Oh God, I hate this part. Don't touch me or I'll jump! I was still cradling Jacques in my hands and his eyes flashed dangerously.
No.
No! John took a step towards me and I leaned further out. I will! I will!
No.
You won't? Not while Jacques is with you. My heart fell. I looked at Jacques in my hands and he looked up at me. He trusted me. He trusted me to keep him safe. I couldn't drop him to his death, could I? In that moment, hands gripped me tightly. The world spun around me and suddenly I was on the floor, Paul's arms around my waist. No! Let me go! I flailed and kicked and hissed, fighting like a maniac, clawing with my one free hand. Jared grabbed one of my arms, PBG and Satchel leg each. No! John leaned over me to try and get Jacques out of my hand and I sped in his face. Good God! Shame put his hands over my face and I saw only darkness. He left just enough space over my mouth and nose for me to breathe, muffling my screams. I felt Jacques pulling away from my hand and I held on as tightly as I dared, not wanting to hurt him. But then, with a final yank, he was gone. Whatever she just said. I screamed and screamed, but there was nothing I could do. I heard footsteps head toward the doorway, then out the door, then down the hall. The last thing I heard was Jacques' voice. Hana, where are you? Then darkness. I flew up into a sitting position, barely registering where I was. Something had happened. Something was wrong. The door was almost hanging off its hinges. The window was open. The clock read 2:48. And Jacques was gone. Instantly, I was on my feet, flying across the campus. I pounded on John's door incessantly at first, but growing weaker over time. Sobs filled my throat. Jacques, please, no. Then the door opened. It's PBG. PBG stared at me, solemn. Then he let me in. John sat on his bed, a buzzing Jacques in his arms. Jacques, are you okay? Please say something to me. Jacques turned to look at me. His eyes flashed once. He remembered me. He wiggled out of John's grasp and crawled to the edge of John's knee, fluttering his wings. I held my arm out. I knew it. I knew he'd always love me. Get away from me, you disgusting creature. Bree, are you wanting out? Bree? Okay, I guess you got it.
What?
What? He remembers what you did. What did I do? I didn't do anything. You took away my free will. You destroyed my autonomy and forced me to love you. Only the sickest of humans would do that to another creature. No, that's hardly even human. Jacques, but all the time we spent together, you said you cared about me. I do not. I stared at him. Hana, are you okay? You're shaking. My teeth began to chatter.
No.
This isn't happening. You should leave. No! Oh, I like how John's in front of Jacques now. No! Jacques doesn't want you here. Jacques' eyes flashed again, but he said nothing. Gently, PBG grabbed my arm and led me towards the door. I allowed him to push me into the hall, no longer possessing feeling in my body. Hana, are you going to be okay? Let me take you back to your room, okay? Mai will be back from practice soon. You'll be okay, right? I'm sorry, Hana, but even that broke my heart the first time. He shook his head and left the room. Eventually, I lay down in my bed. Who knew how much time passed, but eventually... Hey, Mai? Whatever happened to Hana? I haven't seen her since... Well, you know, the incident. At the mention of her name, John shot a glare at our side of the room. I shrugged. She wouldn't say anything to me, no matter how hard I tried. She wasn't eating or sleeping or talking to anybody. She just sat there, staring straight ahead. Eventually I got worried. I told Miss Shizuka. The next thing I knew, she was gone. Oh. Okay. Well, thanks for letting me know. Yeah, no problem. PBG went back to his desk and I stared at the empty one in front of me. What I said was mostly the truth, but Hana had been diagnosed in our tiny little dorm room. She displayed several signs of antisocial personality disorder. Sociopathy. It didn't make any sense to me. Hana started out as such a sweet girl. She would cry when she was upset, she would yell when she was mad. It didn't seem like she was doing those things without feeling behind them. Something was wrong, very wrong. But they took her somewhere and I didn't know where. I didn't get to say goodbye. I didn't even get to apologize. They told me, even as they were pulling her away, shoving her into the van, even as she fought them tooth and nail, she was screaming, "It's not my fault. It's not my fault. They did this." And maybe I did. Maybe there was something I could have done differently. If I could go back in time, if I could replay those events over again, would I be able to save her? Oh, crying. Trying not to cry. Okay. Oh, that still messes me up.
Asagao Academy, Normal Boots Club.
Anyway, so we're gonna take a look at the extra stuff real quick. Right. So, these are the, there's one missing. We're gonna get that real quick. Let's look at hidden. Yeah, we got all of, hidden block scenes, but we're still missing Jacques' ending scene. So what we're gonna do real quick is I'm gonna get us, back to the point where we were. And then, so we pick Jacques again.
What?
And then we skip. We skip. That's all we do is we skip. So I'm gonna talk real quick while we're doing this. The choices and stuff are gonna pop up again where I can choose. But it's gonna be the same. But Mai has something to do in this one, and I want to show you guys what it is, because Mai talks about going back in time to fix what had happened. So we're gonna skip again. This ending messed me up.
Upgrade complete.
So much the first time I saw it. I actually had to call somebody after I played it because I was just very, it was very bad. Because I was expecting this to be like a cute little like, she goes on a date with a bird type thing. And it's so not. It's very For someone who has... For someone like me who has anxiety, who has, like... Here we go. Real quick. For someone like me who has anxiety and depression and issues like that, of that sort, I don't talk about it very much on here, but someone who has issues like that, I can't relate to Hana, like, loving a robot, loving a bird kind of thing, but I can relate to her being like, no one understands me, I don't have friends, etc., etc. I can relate to that. So this hit me really hard when I saw what she had to go through and what happened to her. And it was just, yeah. So anyway, here we go. What was that? I squinted into the darkness. A figure stood in front of me, bent over something. Is that you? The figure whirled around and I saw what was in her hands.
Jacques.
Jacques. He was broken in half? Literally, sawed down the middle. And his head was clenched in Mai's fist? Mai stood in front of me, a sad look on her face. Hana? I hate that face. I hate that scream. It always makes me shiver with not a good shiver. What have you done? I flung myself out of bed and grabbed Jacques, shoving Mai to the side. Ah! She spun across the room and hit the wall with a rough thud. Jacques, no, no! No, this can't be happening. Mai attempted to stand, watching me carefully. Jacques! He was definitely gone. He was definitely dead. The wires were sticking out both ends, having been cut by something incredibly sharp. There was no response from him, not even the faintest flicker in his eyes. He was well and truly gone. I clutched his remains to my chest and glared at Mai. Why did you do this? Hana, listen to me. You bitch! I was across the room in a flash, tackling Mai around the middle. I hit her as hard as I could across the face, then pulled my hand back, ready to beat her into oblivion. But she grabbed my hands and held them down. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't free myself from her grip. Her volleyball training was good for something after all. My pathetic spaghetti arms couldn't reach her, my rage be damned. We remained like that for some time as I struggled and she prevented me from hitting her. Why would you do this? Hana, you've been... What did I ever do to you? Do you hate me, huh? You said we were friends. That's why I'm doing this. You think I haven't noticed how sad you become? How you've been pushing away everything and everyone you cared about, all for a damn robot? Hana. Without warning, she let go of my arms and hugged me. You! I began to beat her back and shoulders as hard as I could. Let me go. Let me go!
No.
No, I won't. I'm sorry, okay? You've been suffering this whole time by yourself. And I didn't do anything about it. I didn't help you. I just pretended not to notice. I got upset with you instead of trying to understand why you would be so mean to the people around you. Because like it or not, Hana, you're not the kind of person that can push people away without feeling. Every time you did, you were sad. Deep down, you were sad. I know you were. I'm sorry. Mai, I've been so scared. She pulled me in tighter and I buried my face into her shoulder. I'm so sorry, Mai. I've been feeling so weird and I don't know what's been wrong. I feel like I've gone crazy. It's okay, Hana. I don't know who I am anymore, Mai. Shh. It's okay. We stayed like that for some time, wrapped in each other's arms. No matter what I did to her, Mai wouldn't let me go. Not until she was sure I was okay. And when I finally drained myself of everything, Mai helped me into bed and crawled in next to me. I've just been so afraid, Mai. I don't think there's anybody left for me. Don't worry, silly bean.
You're my best friend.
I'll always be here for you, no matter what. Even time and space can't stop me. Don't be silly. I closed my eyes and started to drift off to sleep. I wasn't. So then we stuck into the classroom, right? Mai took the keys. It had been nearly a month since I attended class, but things were finally getting back to normal. I felt happy. I actually felt happy for the first time in weeks. Not the manic, obsessive happiness I felt with Jacques, where it seemed like I was getting all the air squeezed out of me. But normal, simple happiness, light as a fresh blanket. For whatever reason, John never got upset with me over Jacques. I expected punishment of some kind. I thought he'd never speak to me again. This was definitely the worst thing I could ever do to him, but instead he was fine, even friendly towards me. It was almost like Jacques never existed, like the whole situation never happened. I could almost forget about it, except for the fact that I was currently failing Asagao. I talked to Mr. Zuka and we agreed to extra classes to help me catch back up. if all went well, I could save my grades and I wouldn't have to leave. I really hoped I didn't. Not now. Not when everything was so much better. Everything that happened in the past month with Jacques, John, and Mai, it all felt like a dream. Everybody forgave me, and when we were moving forward, but there were times I felt like I was missing something. What's wrong? Nothing?
Yay!
Good, because guess who's got enough money for ice cream? Mai! I was probably just imagining things. Her face! Her face! Did you guys see her face? Ugh! In the end, it didn't matter. I had my friends, and they had my back. Jacques Truand! Okay, so... Oh, why am I about to cry? Guys, I've had like a rough week, so playing this that messes with my emotions every time, probably not the best idea to do, but anyway. So, the Truand thing, I actually talked to somebody about this a while ago, Hugo, best friend, he told me, he said he read somewhere that the Truand of Jacques is like, what actually happens to Hana, like all the normal boot stuff doesn't happen, all the hidden, like this is actually what happens to Hana, apparently. So, okay. Skipping the credits, credits are important, you should totally watch them, but, anyway, so, let's see. So, that's the Truand. So, see, I've got Shane's, most of Shane's endings. I've got all of Gerard's endings. I've got all of Jared's endings. I don't have any of PBG, Continue, or Satch. But, anyway, yeah. So, that was, Asagao Academy. Okay. Anybody watches this, I'm so sorry I'm a wreck. But, you see, with this route is it's very heavy. It's very much. It's a lot. Anyway, thank you guys for sticking through it with me. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I didn't scream too loud or hurt anybody's ears, but I got into it. And, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know. Comments, concerns, you just want to say hi. Be like, tell me how you felt, how this route affected you, if it did. And, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And, what else? Hope you're having a fantastic week, have had a fantastic week, and everything is going great in your lives. If you have, I'm actually gonna go to a different song, well, this is the one that would always play when something bad was gonna happen, but, let's see, what's PBJ intro? I'm trying to find one that's... This is a good one. Okay, cool. So, if, this is what plays when Jared's fashion show is happening. Yeah. If anyone's, like, if anybody is depressed or anxious or you're going through something, talk to somebody, please. Don't retreat in on yourself. Don't keep your feelings, like, talk to somebody. I actually, it's coming up on 2 years when I first realized how bad my anxiety and my depression issues were, and so much has happened in those 2 years. So much has happened that I can't even fathom how much has happened. It's really hot in here. But had I given up on the life that I wanted then 2 years ago, like the life that I was going after with college and everything, because I was in a really bad place. I was stressed. Stress was the main reason. I was stressed to the max. But I've met so many people since then. I've done so many things since then. It's gotten so much better, and it gets better. It gets better. It does. I know nobody wanted to see me turn into a mess on an outro, but yeah, okay. Talk to people, please. People love you. People care about you. Talk to people, please. Anyway, yeah. I'm gonna get my guys. Got all my babies with me to say bye. Well, I know, Brie, you want to get out of here because it's really hot, but anyway, yeah. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and let me know and everything. And you guys are great and awesome and loved, and you matter and everything. So, yeah. As always, I will see you all later. Bye!